Hi, welcome to your Vinyasa class. My name is Kathleen if you haven't practiced with me before. Vinyasa is flow connected to breath. So we're going to find a practice today that incorporates that movement to the timing of the breath, but I've also added in a few elements of strength and mobility. I find it's really important to build strength in the entire range of the joints. So we'll have a go of that today, a bit of a mixed class, but as always, we'll begin in child's pose. So just coming towards the back of the mat, we'll set ourselves up. Just to come into a little bit of quiet stillness, to tune in, to slow down and settle in before we really dive in to beginning the class. So we're going to reach the arms over. Feel free to find a natural curl into the fingertips. Drop down onto the elbows. And then start softening the weight of the head down, because we really want to soften and unlock around the neck and shoulders. See if you can melt down the spine, sink the hips to the heels. You might like to close down the eyes. We want to tune into a few rounds of beautiful big deep breaths. And just begin to notice how you feel, if there's any holding or tension. If we need to take care of any injuries, just be really aware of how you're feeling as you step onto the mat today. We can feel really different every single time we unroll the mat. So just noticing how you feel right now in this moment, energetically and physically, mentally and emotionally, and then adjust your practice accordingly. Make sure that it nurtures, that it feels strong and stable in the body. Keep the breath full and slow. Allow the body to soften and open in its own time. Take a huge big breath in together. Nice big breath out. Start to slide the hands in underneath the shoulders. And then press the hands down. Slowly start to bring the body up into a kneeling position. Bring the head over the heart. Drop the shoulders down the back. We're just going to start with some really gentle and warming neck stretches. Turn your chin over towards the left shoulder. Take a nice slow circle along the front of the chest. Looking over towards the right shoulder. And then little half circle all the way back. Circle back to the right. This time we're going to pause here. Keep the chin down, facing towards right hand side. You're going to pick up the left hand. Locate your collarbone. And then just below the collarbone, see if you can press into the skin. And then I want you to try and drag the skin down and away on the diagonal. As you turn that chin a little deeper towards the right side, just creating a big fanning stretch of the fascia right across the front of the neck and the throat. Holding here, just one more breath. Clear it out. Release the hand down, circle the chin over, back towards left hand side. We circle to the right. And then back down, over to left side. This time we hold here. Pick up the right hand. Locate that little dip just below the collarbone. Press into the skin and then drag the skin down on the diagonal. Again, turning the chin a little deeper. Just feeling that huge big fanning stretch across the neck and the throat. Holding. Clear out. Drop the chin back to the center line, release both hands down and then lift the gaze up. Circle the shoulders out. Just warming, exploring the whole shoulder girdle. Release the base of the neck. Between the shoulder blades. Good, and then let's get off the legs now. Walk the hands forward. Coming into tabletop position, so you'll need to shift the knees in underneath the hips. We're going to pick up the right leg. Keep a nice 90-degree bend in the knee. And then flexing the foot, pressing the heel towards the ceiling. So you're really activating strongly into the right glute. We're going to lift the knee up. Circle the knee forward, let it sweep down past the left. Lift, open, and then circle down and around. So just exploring a couple of nice big hip circles here. You may even feel the heat building quite quickly in the body. But we want to keep this movement really slow, really smooth and controlled. So we're building strength in the entire range. The belly's gently engaged, the neck stays in neutral, so keep the gaze down. Let's take one more. And then landing back into that 90-degree angle, heel pressing. We're going to cross the knee behind the left. And then open up the shins, so widen into the ankles. Create a little bit of space, so as you press into the hands, we sit the hips back. We're going to start this really dynamic, so rock forward. And then press into the hands, sit the hips back. We're rolling over top of the knees. Just spreading a bit of space across the back of the sacrum. Warming into the outer hips. And then we'll land. Sit the hips back. So kind of settling into this hybrid double pigeon child's pose. I like to tuck the chin in, drop the weight of the head. Just landing for another breath. Good. Transfer the weight forward. Uncross at the knees. Come back to tabletop position. So roll out the wrists if needed. They're taking a little bit of weight to begin. And then changing sides. Left leg lifts. Square the hips and shoulders. Take the weight evenly through the hands. Active through left glute and then turn open. Circle the knee forward. Let it land down and then lift back up. Smooth, controlled movements. Can be really strong work when we slow it down, making it super mindful. So we're not just swinging and getting lost in momentum. It takes a lot of strength to hold really good form. Good, let's take one more. Kick the heel up once again. Strong and active through glute and hamstring on left hand side. And then rest the knee down behind the front. Open the shins, open the ankles. Again, find that rock as you roll over top of the knees. Pushing the hips back. We create a bit of space down the sides of the body. And into the outer hips. Good, last one. Just allow yourself to land, snuggle in a little. Just rocking left or right so you can really drop in and explore this. And then see if you can let go of the head. I do like to tuck the chin. Maybe you locate that top knee, rest the forehead. Good. We lift up, shift the body weight forward. Untangle the legs, come back to tabletop position. So this time we're going to tuck all 10 toes under, lift up into plank position, and then into our downward facing dog. Bend the knees here, drop opposite heel. Create a little bit of space around the feet, into the arches, right into the back of the ankles. We want to begin moving the blood, lengthening the muscles out. Good. Bringing your attention into your hands, spread the fingers. Planting the palms down to protect the wrists and get really strong in our base. Reaching the hips back. While we're warming, stay bent through the knees so you can tilt through the pelvis. And then come back to beautiful big Ujjayi breaths in and out through the nose. Really painting that breath across the back of the throat. We can hear and feel this breath. The inhale, energizing and expanding. The exhale, just allowing us to soften into the pose. One more. Good. Bring the gaze forward. Little baby steps will walk us towards the top of the mat. Feet land underneath the hips. We're going to push hands to shins. Halfway lift here. Reach the crown forward. Flat spine. And then exhale. Soften the knees. Bow the head down. One more like that. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good. Little nod, little shake. Let the head hang really heavy. And just to help with that, link the fingers. Place the hands at the very back of the skull, just gently encouraging the neck to be loose, the head to hang heavy, and then add in a little swing through the upper body from right to left side. Keeping the knees soft, just creating a little more warmth around the hamstrings, the lower back. And then continue this swing right to left, but drop the hands down. Sweeping the fingernails around to the outsides of the feet. And then notice if you're still rigid, if you're still trying to control where the arms are going. Just let them sweep really softly, really naturally. Because we're going to continue this swing as we roll the body up. So shifting right to left as we slowly begin to lift the hands past the ankles, the shins and the knees. Maybe finding a couple of new sensations as we lift up to standing. Bringing the head all the way up. And if that little swing, that rotation through the spine feels really nice, just feel free to keep it going. Let the arms slap to the sides of the body. Just loosening up around the shoulders. There's no holding. There's no tension in the body. Just getting a little lost in the motion from right to left side. This is the time to be soft. And then we're going to land at the very top of the mat, adding strength back into the body as we set up for Tadasana, so mountain pose. I like feet straight under the hips. You can go wider. You can bring the feet in a little closer if that feels best for you. We're going to find our sun salutations, but again, I've added in a little bit of strength work and a little bit of mobility, just to mix it up, keep our practice really fresh. So Tadasana, start with the feet ground down. We want to draw energy back up into the body. So feel that lift through the thighs and pelvic floor. Draw bandha in, open the hands. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Palms touching, and then exhale, hinge from the hips, bow all the way forward. We halfway lift, long through the spine. Hands land, step back to high push-up position. Now our option here, as always, knees to the earth to modify. From plank position, we add in our strength. We're going to lift the right heel just a couple of inches off the mat. Exhale, bring the knee to right elbow. Kick the heel back, toes land. Changing side, left heel lifts. Knee to elbow, bracing strong through upper body. Step back. As the toes land, high to low push up. Come all the way down onto the belly. Left hand stays here, bent at the elbow. We're going to reach the right arm long from the body. Take your right cheek to the mat and then bend at the left knee, rolling open into a twist. So I don't have a great deal amount of space here to show you. Turn over here, tap the toes behind you, roll back onto the belly, change sides. Left arm long, change sides through the cheek, tap the right foot behind you. We roll back to belly. Both hands slide in, tuck the toes. Now you can keep the knees down or reverse push-up position. Come back to downward dog. Take a big breath. Nice big breath out. Step or float forward. Halfway lifting. Bowing down. Inhale, push through the feet, circle all the way up and over. And then exhale, we fold back down. Follow the breath. Halfway lift, brace the belly. Step back to plank position, hold here. Right heel lifts high. Exhale, tap right elbow. Kicking back and then lowering down, second side. Toes tap, brace the belly, lower down to the mat. Right arm long, we turn open. Little twist here, foot taps behind. Roll to belly, change sides. Left arm long. Turning the body open into the rotation. Belly to the mat, hands slide in. Remember, using your knees to push back if you like. We take one more round through. Inhale together. Nice big breath out. Step or float to the top of the mat. Lift the heart up. Bow down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, folding. Just moving to the timing of your breath. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, plank position. We add in that strength hook. Nearly skipped it. Right heel lifts. Knee to elbow. Kicking back. Place the foot down. Left hand side. Good. Holding the body strong. Toes land. Lower down. Gentle rotation. Come back to center. Changing sides. Hands slide in. Brace the belly to lift. Come all the way back to downward dog. Pedal it out. We should be a little bit warmer now. Ready to begin our flow sequence. So we're going to lift the right heel high to begin. Take a big breath. Knee to right elbow. Brace through the belly. Kick the heel up. Knee to nose, rounding in. Come right up onto back toes. Push the earth, create lots of space underneath you, and then stepping all the way through, runner's lunge. So we'll move through our sequence fairly slow, first round through. Wake up through the hips, wake up the strength in that back leg, soften shoulders from the ears. From a strong foundation, we're going to rise up into crescent lunge. Turn the palms forward. Big exhale as you sweep the arms behind. Inhale, coming back through crescent lunge. Drop the back heel, open the arms. Warrior two. Just take a moment, clear your breath, settle the shoulders down. From warrior two, we flip the front palm. Big breath in as you reverse your warrior. Without losing the depth of the lunge, reach out of the right hip. And then circle the hands all the way to the mat. Square hips and shoulders by picking up the back heel. From this position, we add in a twist. Right arm reaches to the sky. Tucking those left ribs under, turning the rib cage around. Huge breath in. Exhale, reaching up overhead, increasing that line down the side body. We inhale, hand floats straight back up. Exhale, circle back and down. Both hands land to the mat. We're going to step forward. Keep the heart lifted. Huge breath here. As you exhale, bow down and then sink the hips. Utkatasana, arms sweep up and over. As you breathe out, turn the palms, sweep the arms back behind you. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, rise back up. Hold here just for another second. And then start to straighten the legs. Pour the upper body forward. Halfway lift. High to low push up. So full vinyasa flow now. We choose baby cobra or upward dog at the bottom. And then exhale all the way back to downward dog. Let's take this through second side. Left heel lifts high. Knee to left elbow. Kick it up. Knee to nose. Hold for a second. Get lots of space underneath you. Push the mat away. And then you'll find it a little easier to step that left foot through. Take a moment through first round. Drop the hips. Find a bit of space through upper body, and then we're flowing up into crescent lunge. Let's inhale, rise. Palms forward, big exhale as arms sweep back behind. Inhale, float back up. Drop back heel, open the arms. We find warrior two. Spread across the chest and the pelvis. Let's reverse. Flip the front palm. Big breath in as you reach up and over. And then circle the hands down. Pop up onto the back toes. Square hips and shoulders. Here we add in the rotation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reaching forward. Inhale, arm reaches out of the shoulder, and then we circle back and down. Step it forward, half lift. Exhale, fold down, drop the head. Utkatasana, 3 breaths. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale, sweep it out. 2 more. Last one, we hold just for a second longer, brace the belly. And then exhale, fold all the way forward. Halfway lift. Step or float back, high to low push up. Baby cobra or up dog. Spread the collarbones, brace the belly, come all the way back to down dog. We're going to take that same sequence, but we're going to flow through the breath, so no holding, really fluid. See how you go. Remember, rest anytime you need. Let's inhale, lift right heel high. Knee to nose. Knee to elbow. Kick it up. Exhale, step all the way through. Full crescent lunge. Palms turn forward, big breath out. Rising. Warrior two. Reverse. Circle all the way down to the mat, square hips and shoulders. Right arm reaches. Reach overhead. Straight back up to the ceiling, and then circle all the way around. Halfway lift as you step to the top of the mat. Exhale as you bow down, sink the hips. Utkatasana. Big breath out. 2 more. Last one. Reach and look up to the fingertips. Straighten the legs. Pour the hands down. Drop the head. Your vinyasa. Any variations that you need. Choose your modifications. Follow the timing of your breath. We'll meet back in down dog. Left hand side. Left heel lifts high. knee to elbow. Kick it up. Knee all the way to the nose and then step the foot through. Full crescent lunge. Hands turn forward, sweeping breath out. Inhale. Warrior two. Open the arms, settle the shoulders, reverse. Circle down to the mat, square the hips, gentle twist left arm. Reach over. Reach up. Circle all the way around. We step forward, halfway lift. Utkatasana. Sweeping, nearly there. Two more. Whoops, hold for a second. And then pour forward. Half lift. Your vinyasa flow. Roll the shoulders back, pull the heart forward. Sink the heels, soften the neck and shoulders. Come all the way back to down dog. Good. From this down dog position, we're going to step right foot through. Dropping the back heel down, arms float up, warrior one. Warrior two. I'm going to straighten the front leg. Reach forward out of hips and pelvis. Trikonasana, right hand side. Good time to grab your block or rest your hand on the shin. Now we're all going to look up to that top hand. Fill with breath. As we exhale, float that top hand down. Clap your hand onto the bottom one and then refill and open. Feeling that turning through the rib cage. One more. Either holding here or reaching top arm overhead. Extending that line once again from the shoulder and the hip right up to the fingertips. Without collapsing forward into the chest, squeeze the back glutes, stay open. One more breath. As you exhale, float the left hand down to the mat. Bend into the right knee, come up through warrior one. Open warrior two. Hands to hips. Turn on the right heel. We're going to take that sequence through left hand side. So turn the toes out. We're going to bend into this left leg. Sweep the arms. Warrior one. Warrior two. Trikonasana. Left hand side. Charge up the thigh. Reach to the back of the mat. Left hand down, right arm skyward. Spread the fingers. Take a huge breath. Gently clap that top hand all the way down. And then refill the breath. Reopen Trikonasana. One more. Holding here or reaching up and over. Want to draw the top arm bone back into the shoulder socket. Plug down through the heels. Reach the spine up out of the hips. Take one more last breath. Gaze down, both hand lands. Bend the left knee. Warrior one. Warrior two. Hands to hips. Straighten the leg. Turn on the left heel. Now with the hands on the hips, square up the outer blades of the feet. We're going to tilt forward, hinging from the hips here. Fingertips landing underneath the shoulders. We want to reach the crown forward, drawing the shoulders towards the hips, sitting the bottom back. And then exhale, fold all the way in. Maybe walking the hands between the feet. Or turning the hands around, continue walking them behind you. Just encouraging that really nice open position around the shoulder blades, the upper back. Good, and then to counterbalance that lengthening through back body with some strengthening. Hands back underneath the shoulders. Hands are going to move up onto the hips. We're going to shoot the elbows towards the ceiling, keeping the upper body really strong and straight. We're now going to squeeze the glutes and hamstrings, bringing the body slowly up into a standing position. Use the strength of the glutes. Come up really slow. As you breathe out, drop the shoulders. Take a second for the head to settle, and then we're going to walk the feet in. Draw the heels in first, all the way in, and then roll on the heels to point the toes. Really rolling around through the head of the femur bone. So the head of the femur is moving and rolling within the hip socket. Good, until the feet land back together. Now we're going to move towards the back of the mat. We are coming into frog pose. I know this isn't everybody's favorite. We're going to do a little bit of mobility work before we settle in. So finding a three-way fold with your mat. So you have 3 layers to protect the knees as we come into frog position. And then we're going to kneel up on the mat, hands out in front of us. Walk the knees out nice and wide. And then we want to allow the shins to line up with the ends of the mat, flicking the feet out so we're resting on the inner part of the ankle. And then rock forward and back a couple of times because we want our hips to land right between the knees. Hands under shoulders, supporting the upper body weight. Now a little bit of movement so we can signal when the body is required to strengthen and brace, and when it's required to soften and surrender and let go. So we want really clear signals in the body before we settle into frog. Hands under shoulders, cat-cow. So drop the belly, roll shoulders back, fill with breath. As we exhale, round the spine. I want you to push the hands down. Squeeze the knees together, get really strong. And then inhale, soften lower body, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, tuck the chin, squeeze through the lower body, push the earth away, soften and relax, refill. Exhale, round in. One more. Exhale, all strength here, squeeze thighs together, round through the spine. And then this time as we begin to settle, we get that really strong cueing that we're allowed to drop in and soften into this hip opener. So maybe for you, you've grabbed a bolster or a block to hug onto. You can stay on your forearms. You can even stack the hands to rest the head down onto. But this unlocking and unbracing not only applies to the hips and pelvis, but also to the shoulders, the back of the neck, around the jaw and the eyebrows. If the pose feels really intense really quickly, if there's a lot of feedback and that urge to get out of the pose is really strong, instead of getting out completely, just try rocking forward and backwards. So you're just moving slightly, dipping in and out of the intensity. And this might just keep you here a little longer, allowing the body to get a full experience. I'm feeling this as much as anyone. Extremely tight, lots of holding around the outer hips, around the groin. My teacher always used to say the pose we want to get out of the fastest is usually the one the body needs the most. That's so true. Let's take 3 full breaths. Good, and then to move out, come up onto the hands first, bring the ankles together second, and then slowly start to walk the knees together. You can sit the hips back towards the feet, wrap the arms behind you, and rest the forehead down just for a moment. As you feel ready, hands under shoulders, just lift back up into a kneeling position. We'll come up off the mat, unroll the mat. We'll take a seat towards the top. Get a little bit of space behind you so we can lay down onto our back. So either do that by grabbing hold of shins or thighs to support the body weight. You can engage the core, reach forward, just counterbalancing that roll down. Just feeling that tilt over the back of the pelvis, and then slowly we lay the vertebrae down. Back of the head landing, arms release. Good, and then sliding the heels up towards the bottom. We're going to move into bridge, again, adding in a little bit of a modification. So just start by plugging the feet down, maybe lifting the toes so you're ensuring the whole base of the foot is planted. And then following your next breath in, start to power up the glutes and the thighs, lift the hips, roll the shoulders open. So you're really feeling into the strength of symmetry in the body here. Now for the mobility part of this, you may like to bring your hands right up to the hips and pelvis. You don't have to hold the body weight, but just ensure that the hip bones are pointed straight up. We're going to want to tilt and move as we go here. So try and stay as steady as possible. This is the work, holding steady. We're going to draw the left knee in towards the chest. Extend the leg straight up. And then with control, allow that left leg to fall open. Get to a point where you can hold strongly and with stability, and then draw the leg straight back up. Bend the knee, place the foot down, and then slowly lower the hips, just tap the earth. Come back up, bridge pose. Right knee in. Kick the heel up, nice strong straight leg, and then allow that right leg to fall all the way open. Guide the leg back up, use the adductor strength, bend the knee, place the foot down, and then guide the hips down. Tap the back of the hips, rise back up, left knee in, heel to ceiling. Slowly with control, open left leg wide, control that draw back in, bend the knee, place the foot down, lower the hips. Tiny little recovery here. Last time through. Right knee draws in. Stable and strong. Guide the knee wide. Hopefully you got a little more room than I do. Bring the leg back up. Bend the knee. Place the foot down. This time you can allow the hips to land. Let the body weight drop into the mat. A bit of relief here. Just take the load off, take the workout. Slow the breath. I'm going to hug the knees in towards the chest. And just start to circle the knees around wide. Draw back together, straight up through the center line. Good. Reverse those big circles. Good. One final twist just to finalize the sequence. Left leg long. Keep bent through right knee. Shift the hips to the right. Guide the knee across the body. Soften into both shoulders. Using each exhalation just to deepen that gentle rotation. One more breath. Rolling back to center. Realign the hips, changing sides through the legs. Push the hips to left side. Prop right onto the right glute so you're twisting with a straight spine. Guiding the knee across the body. I like to take the gaze all the way over. I feel this completes the rotation from the tailbone right up to the crown of the head, but up to you. If the neck feels funny, not comfortable, just keep the gaze straight up. Last breath. Good. Realigning now. I like to end with a full body stretch, just centering, decompressing. A big yawn for the entire body before we settle into Shavasana. As always, if there's anything else you want to add in, just do that now. If there's an inversion you like to practice, an extra hip opener or twist, go for it. Add it in. If you're ready to settle into Shavasana, I really encourage you just take a couple of moments here, absorbing all the benefits of everything we've just practiced. This is the time where everything integrates, it downloads into the body. We move through mindful breathing. It's extremely soothing for the nervous system. It can really bring us back from a state of fight, flight, freeze into rest, relax, and digest. Just let the body roll open, soften the muscles from the bones, relax the skin. Give yourselves a few moments to slow down, to simply be as you are. As you rest here quietly, I'll just thank you for joining me, as always, joining me on the mat. I hope to see you again online or in studio if you're able to join me. Namaste.